My name is Chris Erskine, and welcome to my weekly updates. This week I wanted to talk about several things that have been in the media recently regarding cars and bikes. This is particularly in response to the Raise the Hammer article on Burlington's. There was an opinion piece by, I think, one of the councillors. I'm not sure about that, or it might have been a newspaper editor, regarding bike lanes and the cost of bike lanes and the inconvenience of bike lanes, and that cyclists should be paying a license fee for the privilege of bicycling. And of course, this is a little bit of a silly argument, and the Raise the Hammer article by Ryan McCree was quite good in addressing that. But you know, there has been pieces. There was a comment on the hospital parking issue this past week as well in the media, saying that anyone who has a problem with paying for parking at hospitals shouldn't be driving car. And so you get these two extremes. One where bicycles don't belong on the road, and then on the other hand, cars don't belong on the road. And I think that it's unrealistic to start with, and second of all, it's not a good, healthy way to approach the issue. What there should be is a diversity of choices. You know, in my lifetime, I have walked, biked, taken the bus, and taken a car as a form of transportation to get to and from school, to and from work. And at different phases of your life, you require different modes of transportation. Sometimes you move away from work and you have to get a car. Sometimes you're very close and you can bike or take the bus or walk to work, and I've done all three. But at different phases and stages in your life, you may have to change the way you get around. And the notion that I should have to sell my house because I now use more of the car than the bike is not reasonable, or that I have to quit my job because we moved to a different location, or my job has changed and now I might be downtown, but now I have to commute out of town to work. You know, transportation is there to aid for the other things that are going on in your life, and so the best route is a diversity of options, and actually it's a healthier approach on a number of levels. First, in the inner city, you should have reasonable walking, busing, transportation options, and you should be able. The city should be designed to encourage all forms of transportation. There will always be a need to get people from point A to point B that happens to go through the city, and that has to be dealt with. But the main arteries don't have to be exclusively car. The sidewalk should be widened so that it encourages people to walk. There should be protected bike lanes, because I can tell you from my own experience, without that it's really hard, especially in the city, to feel safe. Just a story as an aside, I used to bike to school and bike to work all the time until I was going through Westdale, and one of the trucks that was going to one of the variety stores, he was a good 3 feet from the curb, so there was, you know, a little bit closer than comfort, but there should have been enough room. And I wasn't too perturbed until I took one glance back, and his rear view mirror, which was sticking out about 1.5 feet, basically right into the bike lane, almost took my head off. And that was and the guy couldn't care less. He just kept driving on. He had his deliveries to make. Probably even think about the fact that his rear view mirror was going to decapitate me. After that, it just, you know, there had been a number of other close calls. I just gave up on cycling in the city, and I turned to taking public transit as an alternative. So, protected bike lanes are essential. So just as an aside of that. But also, if we're going to be encouraging downtown businesses and to buy local, which is essentially what it is, you need to encourage people to get out of their car and walk. Walking and biking are equivalent, and buses to a certain degree. You need to have the distances between places you want to go smaller, and more options for what you're going to buy. When you're dealing with strictly a car culture, you may want to go to Home Depot, which is 5 miles this way, and Bertino's another 5 miles that way, and that works for you. You're just going point A to point B within your car. But if you're trying to do things, shop in your neighborhood, have a rich range of experience, then you need to have a variety of transportation means. And also, it's very good for the city. Some people will argue that they want to put in a Target or a Walmart in downtown Hamilton, and well, you could do that. Is it the most effective use of real estate? The company could probably buy much cheaper real estate on the edge of town with ample parking than they can do in the middle of the city. The economics, I can't see how it could ever favor large box stores in the inner city, and and is that really what we want for the inner city, large box stores? I don't think so. So I don't think it makes it economically sensible for the chain stores. But also, I don't think it serves the customers well in the inner city. What you want is a diversity of shopping experiences. If you go out to the big box stores, you get your basic food items, your basic clothing items, where price and convenience is a premium, and the real estate is cheaper, and you can do that. And then in the city, you go for the experience, what you do with the rest of the 95% of your life, of your waking hours, to enjoy yourself, to shop, and to enhance your individual character and personality through your shopping and recreational experiences. That's where the strengths of the inner city lie, and that's where it's important to have a diversity of means of getting around. And you have to have a vibrant city life on the main street level. And this is, again, this is a little bit unusual for me because I really don't talk about transportation issues that much. But this is where it links back into heritage, which is my concern, is that the rich diversity of architecture encourages that kind of use of space. If you have glass walls and things that are hostile to the street and not inviting, and one store looks just the same as another, there's no reason to stop and go in. But when you have a rich diversity of architecture, then it makes the shopping experience more enjoyable, the recreational experience more enjoyable in public spaces and that sort of thing. So this is where transportation and heritage comes together. It's part of what I'm saying is a rephrasing of what Jennifer Kesmat, who was her video The Ambitious City, given before the Chamber of Commerce. I believe it was before the Chamber of Commerce several months ago. I think it was back in February, March, April, somewhere in that time, which was posted on Raise the Hammer and is available on YouTube. She goes into very much these themes about how you intensify density and you make this downtown experience more enjoyable, so that you can go to the dentist, the grocery store, get your hair cut, and buy things that enhance your life, that are unique and that are not part of a chain that you can find in Hong Kong, London, or New York City. Those unique things that are rooted to the location, and so that you have a very good, rewarding experience. That's what makes cities viable and enjoying and worth living in and worth visiting. And transportation is critical to that, both to get people from the suburbs and from other communities into the city so they can share that experience, and also for those who live in the city so they can to live and function effectively and happily as a city dweller. So that's you know. So you know, the comments in Burlington about you know, cyclists should be paying license fees to use the road is kind of silly, and the notion that some people you know, are saying that if you can't afford parking at a hospital, then you have no right to have a car. Or the other thing, which is around neighborhood associations going on about, is the condos and not allowing requiring the condo developers to have enough parking spots within the building. If you're doing that sort of thing, you're really discouraging people from using coming into the core and enjoying their life. Because even if you're retired and you want to and you don't use the car 90% of the time, the 10% of the time you do need it to visit folks out of town, to do grocery shopping, that sort of thing. If you're raising a family, I can tell you, I know I have friends who don't have cars and they manage, but it is a trade-off. You know, you are working a little bit harder to do the basic stuff that you might be wanting to devote to taking care of your children and having a richer life. You know, if that's your choice, I support you in it, but it shouldn't be imposed on anyone. And I think the not having one car per one parking spot to condo unit, or two, you know, whatever the ratio is, not a reasonable option, and should be reversed, as I believe the Durand Neighborhood Association is advocating for. So that's where I wanted to provide some feedback on Ryan's article and the local reports in the media on parking on cars and bikes. So from Princess Point on a Friday evening, a little bit safer from some of the other distractions I was dealing with prior to doing this. Have a nice evening. Take care. Bye.